Hi, I'm Donna Griggs, CEO of Propel Change, and today we're going to talk about a question that I hear a lot. Why won't they just, you can fill in the blank. I can't get my employees to fill in the blank. It's a really common discussion that I have with a lot of leaders. So I'm going to tell you a little about Bronson. Bronson's the CEO of a very large technical company. And one day he said, I am so frustrated with my people, I can't get them to network. I said, your technical people won't network, Bronson? Yeah, we want to build our visibility in this area. We want more referral work. And hey, you know what? I pay them a lot of money, so they should be out there doing what I need them to do. Bronson had this brilliant idea that maybe what he needed to do was bring in, maybe a sales trainer, because that sales trainer could teach them how to network. And I said, Bronson, stop. Training is not a pill. What I want you to do is think about changing their mentality. You have technical people that do a phenomenal job. So when you say to them, hey, I want you to go out and network, you might as well say, pick up the yellow pages and start cold calling. Have they told you, Bronson, we got this whole sales team over there. What are we doing that for? And he was so shocked. They've told me that for a long time. What I learned when I talked to him a little bit more was not only had he been telling him this, but he had been telling them for 2 years that they needed to be out networking. It was a very strange conversation every month. Here's what our numbers are. Here's where we are. I need you all to network. And I said, Bronson, what do they say? They say they'll do it. What happens the next month, Bronson? Same thing. And you've done this 24 times? Are you expecting a change, really? So here's what we did. We looked at what his true goals were, and his true goals were really visibility and growth. And so I asked him, what are you willing to do to make sure this works? He had a whole laundry list of things he was willing to do. One of the things that I told him is when you are working with people who you're asking them to get way outside of their comfort zone, it's really critical to put the reins in their hands and let them decide how they're going to do it. So we guided them, built a roadmap together, and in one day they went from, we're never doing that, to, this is really doable. Then there was training behind it, of course, so that they understood how to do it. The result was, within a couple of months, they were starting to see a difference. But if we fast forward for a couple of years, it was millions of dollars difference in business. And it was all because if you ask them, they say, we have a sales culture with our technical team. And people say, how did you do that? So let me tell you some things that we did. Number one, we gave them clear expectations. Like, what does networking mean? That doesn't mean go and get 10 cards as quickly as you can at any event. It might mean going out to lunch or dinner with some previous clients or some potential clients. Second, we made sure we involved them in what does good look like and how are you going to get there? Because when you ask people that question, it becomes their idea. And when it's their idea, it's their baby and they're going to do it. Third, we made sure that they had the knowledge that they needed to get this done. So that might mean training. That might mean just some brush up. That might mean go with me and show me what I'm supposed to do. It could be anything. The next thing we did was make it easy for them to be successful. So that means that they had to give them some time so that they had time to go network. If I made them work 100 hours a week and then said, now go network too, that is not a good example of making it easy. They also wanted to make sure they knew, hey, we got a budget for you to entertain people. So they made it easy to do the networking. And last but not least, in fact, maybe the most important, there was accountability behind every single thing those people did. So every single month, they were reporting their results. And I'll tell you at the beginning, some of them were shamed because they didn't do what they were supposed to. So think about your situation. Have you ever asked, why won't they do this? What's missing? Because most of the time what we find is their desire to do it is missing, and your ability to hold them accountable is also missing. So what are you struggling with and how are you going to fix it? For more topics just like this and to learn more about how we help our clients, visit our website. We'd love to hear from you.